Everyone, I have finished colouring this very little book called Reptiloids. I thought it would be a fun one to do in October, sort of Halloweeny time, with this sort of reptile type figures in. It's not super scary, but I just thought it would be a sort of appropriate one to do. So I finished excuse me, all the pictures, so I thought I would do a little flip through and show you. This is an Amazon printed book. I have got a flip through of it uncoloured, so if you want to see them before I've added colour, you can go and have a little look for that one. But yeah, I'll show you. I'm tipping it because it's shiny, catches my light, but let's open it and then it won't be. So we don't get a title page in this book, we just get straight onto the picture. I'm going to come in closer so you can see. There we go. So I've written here what pencils I used. I try and do that on most sort of single-sided books, so I can remember what I've used, but I don't like actually writing on the page that I've coloured. It's just a personal thing. So this one was done with Polychromos. He is a quite fine looking soldier, isn't he? I think he should have a helmet though, but you know. There we go. And this one doesn't say what it was coloured with. You can see how it transfers. I haven't bothered to put a piece of paper in between the pages when colouring because I know there's a blank page here, so I haven't worried about it, but normally I'd put a piece of paper in and then that wouldn't transfer across. I'm pretty sure this has been done with Bambino crayons, but this cane has been missed and this ribbon. I think I wanted these bits to be white. And the horn, but for some reason I missed that bit out. But yeah, I'm good at doing that, missing bits out. So this one was done with Castle Arts Monet pencils. I always like these guys to look quite regal, because they look really quite funny. I think they look even more funny if they're dressed really smartly. Obviously they're drawn with quite smart clothes on, often uniformed and things like that, so I just think it's quite nice to use sort of these regal colours, which I've done here. Now this was done with Polycolour pencils. Again, although she's obviously not in uniform, she's got like a chain, like she's a mayoress or something like that, and with her sort of ermine, which I kept white and black because I do think that that is probably how it should be coloured. Because she's got a bill, I thought sort of duck, so that's why I did her in a sort of mallardy type colour, even though female mallards aren't green, the males are the ones that are green, but you know, hey. So yeah, and I kept quite a lot of green here. I think it sort of worked. It helps this to stand out a bit, which I think is rather, looks a bit more grand. I don't know why I left those two bits white. I think I wasn't really sure what it was. Okay. This one also done in Polycolour, quite different colours. Now a lot of the uniforms, I always want to do them in red. I think red uniforms look really smart, and often they're red or black, but I've been trying to do a few other colours that for me still feel a little bit regal, like dark blues and purples, but just a little bit of a variation. And we've got him here reading a book. I've coloured the book in a very light grey, it's very hard to see, and done him in grey this time. Trying to decide what colour to make the reptiles. I always think they're either green or grey, but I don't always do them green or grey. I have on this one. This is done with Arteza Expert pencils. I love his expression. He's so funny, but he's got quite sharp, scary looking teeth. But anyway, but because this looked like it could have been armour, but I just wanted to mix it up a bit because I did quite a few silvery armoury colours, so I did something a little bit different. So that was good. And again, this guy, he does not look amused, does he? Now, I wasn't sure whether to make his hat and the bird's hat match, but he had a lot more little details on his. So I took one colour from his hat, put it in the bird's hat. And there we go. And sort of did the curtains to try and match help his face to stand out, because I think the green face is quite comical. It is to me anyway. I did this one with Castle Arts Soft Touch pencils. Now this is Amazon paper. It's quite thin. It's Amazon UK paper. It's not too toothy, but I find it works with most pencils sufficiently, but it isn't the best paper for colouring on because it's a little bit thin. You wouldn't really want to use a wet medium like watercolour, it would really curl up the page. You could, but yeah. This one was one I did quite early on. I was really pleased with this one. His face, I just think it's hilarious. But I did this sort of gold work, which I like to do, and his sort of lyre, lute, I don't know, it's only got one string. It's anyway, I think he's funny. He's a jester who looks so miserable. That's why I thought it was funny. I don't know what I coloured that with. I haven't written it down. I'm having a little look. I've got no clue. Now this guy, I sort of thought he was quite spooky Halloweeny. I probably should have made the windows really black, but I used Castle Art Soft Touch, but I wanted to keep it really dark, a sort of scary nighttime look to it, you know, and yeah, that's what I did. Perhaps I should have coloured in the glasses, but I wanted them to look a bit reflective. So yeah, I didn't put in too much colour, kept it spooky. Well, this one, I don't know what I used for this one. I coloured it quite a long time ago. I'm having a look now, but I can't really tell what I used. This bed is quite an interesting colour, but no, I really don't know. So yeah, quite garish nail polish. I mean yellow, I mean it can be quite a nice colour, but with green skin, not sure if I like that. Now this chap is done in metallic pencils. If I tip it a little, you can see it's a bit shiny. I think metallic is quite a fun one on these sorts of designs. I've used it on a few of them. I think these are the 12 set of Brute Funa metallics, I think. Yeah. Oh, excuse me. This one's done with Bambino crayons. They're quite nice for this sort of paper. They go down quite thick. You can use them quite quickly with the big areas to colour. Just whack them down. So I like his fairs. There's another fairs later, I think. This was done with Black Widows. And yeah, he's we've got a knight with a sword sort of thing. So again, lots of silver in this one, and this sort of bird. I wasn't sure what colour, so I did the sort of grey and a sort of greyed lavender almost. I don't know what colour this is called. It doesn't look like a Black Widow colour to me, but it, yeah, probably is. I wouldn't have made it up, would I? So we'll see. But I tried to put these sort of orange, I think orange and purple. That sort of works-ish, the sort of clash. Oh, this one's round this way. This one's really scary. I didn't like colouring this one because it looked like a big scary snake face, and it's frightened me because I don't like snakes. And I didn't help make it look any less scary by putting the orange eyes. Ugh. But this was, I used my Yova pencils for this one, so I just kept quite a lot of green in that one, but I just felt like he looked like he should be green. Yeah. Now this little chap, he made me smile. I used polychromos for this. I had a lot of fun with his skin. I tried lots of different colours. There's a combination of different greens. There's a bit of blue in there, there's a bit of brown in there. I mixed it up a bit, had a bit of fun, and wanted him to look quite smart in his smoking jacket. If I had a smoking jacket, because obviously I'm a man and I smoke a pipe in the evening after supper, no. I would want a nice red one, probably velvet, you know, very elegant. And he's got his shirt and his cufflinks. Yeah, I had did all this wood, and I tried to make this look like it might have been a brown leather sofa. I felt that his decor would be quite plain and elegant looking, so that's how I sort of did that one. This one, polychromos as well. Now, I wanted this little chap here to look quite dull. He looks bored, really bored fishing. Ugh. So I thought I'd let it make him look really dull and tired. And this is coloured in silver. Actually, the polychromo silver doesn't show it very much. But this monster, I thought, let's make him really bright and really stand out. So that's how I planned that one. Now this one was done with the Yova metallic pencils. Again, I'm quite enjoying doing metallic in here, as I said before. So that was that. And it's quite good for the armour, you know, to use a silver pencil. The only thing is I use silver for a lot, so it all looks quite similar. I wasn't sure what colour to do this little critter, so I just thought I'd do it really bright. Why not? I don't know what I used for this. This I coloured on a video. I think it might have been my flip through. I'm not sure. But I'm not sure what pencils I used. So, no, I don't know. But it'll be somewhere. I just couldn't find it. I could have gone back to look, but I was looking in a different book for the pencils. I didn't think to look at the time for that one. Now, I really liked colouring this one because I do love watching Strictly Come Dancing. I love dancing shows. I can't dance myself, but I love watching other people dance. So I was sort of thinking, you know, how would they look? What would they be doing? You know, and so I wanted her dress to look really pretty. So pink and purples. Her shoes aren't really dancing shoes though, and she could do with some heels on for a ballroom. But not that I'm an expert, I've just watched it on telly for years. But I kept the background blue so that they stood out a bit more. I felt that was the sort of best approach for that one. So there we go. Oh, I use the Over pencils, I don't know if I said. There's a big, I've got a really big set. I think it's 150 or something, so there's a big range of colour. So it's good. This one I used Arteza Expert. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be that way or that way round, to be honest. But I just wanted to do really bright colours. I like purple and these sort of colours all together. I think they work well together. So that's what I did. Sort of gymnast. Oh, and that's, yeah, Arteza Expert, I think I did say. This is Arteza Premium pencils. Similar colours, but a different standard of pencil. It's supposed to not be as good. To be honest, it's not a huge difference really, I don't think, except that you can't get as many colours in the premium. So again, I looked up Georgian outfits to try and work out what colours to do him. I knew his socks and his sleeves would be white, and that there's probably that little bit in there should be, but I did them slightly cream. There's a very light yellow in my Arteza Premium. I think it's called Jasmine, and I just used it really lightly because I didn't want it to look like I hadn't coloured it at all. And his eye should be white. So yes, I wasn't sure what colours to do everything, but this bit here, like it's got his trousers, and I wasn't really sure what that bit there was, so I coloured it that colour, but it now looks too much like the background. This should be marble, I think, but I wanted to colour it in, so I tried to make it look goldish, but it didn't really work. But, yeah. This one, again with Arteza Premium, this one I started with the frame. I wanted the frame to be quite dark, and then I sort of continued that through. So the mountains being quite dark made sense to me, and then his boots I wanted dark brown, and then I just sort of thought, I wasn't sure about this armour, whether it was chainmail, but I decided I wanted some colour in it. So I did the green, and then I thought this might just be a bit of gold, metallic protection across the top. Maybe that should have all been the same colour. But I had no idea what that was, so I just coloured it in gold. I wondered if it was for holding his sword, but I wasn't really sure. And then his skin, I had no idea. So I just randomly grabbed a colour. You know, I don't know why I did that, but you know, I just did. Now we have Holbein. I wanted something a bit different. I grabbed my Holbeins, and they're mainly the 12 pastel colours, although I have a few others, a few greens and browns, not many. So I was more limited on colour, which was good because it gave me, I had to be a bit more adventurous, so my armour couldn't be silver because I've got no grey. So I had to do something a little bit different, and so that made it a bit more interesting for me, a bit more challenging. Sometimes I want that, sometimes I don't. Now this was done with Brute Funa metallic pencils, the 12 sets. You can see there's a bit of shine. The only thing is there's not a big range, and we've got all this wood. There's a slightly brownish colour that I used for all the wood, and then I used the gold for the liquid because I thought it was beer. Well, this is, because it's in a pint glass. Well, I assume, I know nothing about alcohol. But these could have been a different colour, but I wanted to sort of match them in. And then I didn't want anything too bright, so I kept all the skin tones the same. And I think that worked and tied together quite nicely. I was happy with that. And then white shirts. I just thought that were sort of what I thought they should be. Although that little gap in there is probably the the wall behind and not his shirt, but yeah, never mind. Now this one I also did with metallic, if you can see. This is Brute Funa as well, but these are the 50 metallics. So it's a completely different set, completely different pencils to the 12s are really thin. These are a bit fatter, a bit more like the size of a Holbein pencil. Yeah, I didn't know again what colour to do his skin. And so I did it in a sort of pinkish colour. So he looked really different to the monster. Dragon, whatever it might be. Now this, I was still in a metallic mood when I did this one. I used my Castle Arts metallic, and there isn't a big difference, to be honest, between the Brute Funa metallics and the Castle Arts metallics. They're fairly similar. The Brute Funa's got a few more oranges. It's actually, you get 50 instead of 48. The Castles, you get more blues and greens, I think. But anyway, as I say, it's not a huge difference. I have actually done a Ko-fi chart where I compared the two, so you can see what you get in each. If you go into my Ko-fi shop, there's a link in the description, and you can download the chart and just have a little look. And if you're trying to choose a set, then that's a good place to start, because if there's particular colours you know you use more, you'll be able to see if they're there. Also, Castle doesn't have reds. These are, it has a sort of oranges and pinks, but not a proper red. But Brute Funa doesn't really have reds. I think reds are quite difficult in metallics. This I did in Castle Arts Gold. Now, I wanted her to stand out. I wanted her to look elegant and pretty. So I made her dress and her flowers and her hairband all match each other. I put her in. Now her feet were interesting because you can see her toes, but she's got a high heel, so I made it look as if she's got boots that are shaped for her feet. I wanted her to look very elegant because, you know, harpist. I tried to do a bit of gold here. This is Castle Arts Gold, so I don't think I've tried to make a gold colour before, but I was quite happy with how that came out. I did it quite quickly. The background I really wasn't sure. I could see we had some sky here, but this sort of framework. So I decided to just take a bit of this pink, but a slightly lighter tone, and just keep it really light, and so that she stood out really. So it really is just a background. It may have been that I should have done this frame in a different colour, but I accidentally started colouring it when I was doing here, so I committed. But actually, I'm happy. So that's good. Oops. Now this one I did in Ergosofts. I love his face. He does not look amused. I think I slightly messed up in that I did the trough and the bucket. I wanted to look silver. Now they look quite white because I'd done his face in the darker grey, so I had to use the lighter grey, which is really very pale. I didn't think it through and plan it that well, but you know, we don't always. But I remember having, you know, really enjoying it. So this one's done with Artex pencils. I did this quite a long time ago. There's not a lot going on, it's mainly sky, so I think he perhaps should have been in a bit of a brighter colour to stand out, but I don't know. I thought, you know, if he's a skateboarder, he's quite cool, maybe he isn't bright, but maybe he is. I think about people who are in the Olympics with their skateboards. They're usually in big fluorescent colours, so maybe I should have tried to find something a bit brighter, but hey. Now this one was a tutorial. I don't know what pencils I used, I can't remember, but I know I had loads of fun doing these autumnal type leaves and everything. I really enjoyed colouring him, and I don't know why. Yeah, I'm certainly not saying we should ever smoke a pipe, but he just looks so relaxed, and his dressing gown and pyjamas and nightcap and getting his paper. I enjoyed doing the brickwork and everything, so maybe that was it. I don't know. Now this little chap again, I don't know what I used for him. He's a sort of, I felt he was Robin Hood, which is why I gave him those coloured clothes. But these little critters I found a bit scary, so I camouflaged them in quite a bit, and the frame is really bright and it just sort of ties in with the feather. I just wanted it to look really different to the main picture. I think we're on the last one. Oh yeah, now this I did with my Pablo pencils, having not used them anywhere else in the book. I thought, have a go, and I was quite pleased with how they came out actually on the paper, but then Pablo's, I like them, so, you know. So here I wanted this to look a bit like a sort of sunshine behind him, like these are sun's rays, so I did different shades of yellow, and then I also reflected that down here in this eye bit. I wanted again him to look quite regal, so I kept sort of red. I thought it was a good colour. There's quite a bit of white here. I did leave it white on purpose. I wanted him to have a white shirt and white spots on his tie. That was my intention. There's a bit of silver here. It might be hard to see because Pablo does have a metallic silver. I used it for there and up here. So there's a bit of silver there as well. But there we go. That's the end of that one. So, oh, my phone's ringing. I'm going to go. Sorry, my phone rang as I was just signing off. So I just want to say thank you very much for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, all those things. And that's very much appreciated. I hope you have a really super day and happy colouring.